This is Samiran Rao. I just wanted to make this video to demonstrate an application that I've been working on for the past few days. So what it is it's a personal assistant. I've named it Jarvis. Um, it doesn't do a whole lot of things right now, but I think the foundation is pretty good, and a whole lot of actions can be added later. So what I'm going to do is I'll first walk you through the basic architecture, and then I'll start off with the demo. So this is just trying to emulate the popular Google Home or Alexa devices today. So what it has is a device application. This code basically runs inside what would be your Echo or your Google Home device. And then this is my server. So the way it works is the device application just listens for the wake word, which in this case is Jarvis. And in case of the Echo, it's Alexa. And in case of Google Home, it's OK Google. So the wake word here is Jarvis, and it just keeps listening for the wake word. Once the wake word is detected, it connects to cloud speech recognition, and it starts sending everything to my server here. And the server is basically what comes up with the intents and entities. It does the NLU stuff, and then it decides what action to take. And then if the action is to be done on the server side, it goes ahead and does the action here. If there's something needed to be done on the client side, it sends the appropriate messages to the client, and the client has the option to go ahead and perform those actions. Okay, so that's about. Yeah, I think another thing is that once the application has detected the wake word, and um, you know you've said something and it has responded back, you have 10 seconds to continue the conversation. If you don't say anything for those 10 seconds, then you have to invoke the wake word again in order for it to listen to you. So I think, yeah, I can just walk you through what the application can do right now, which is not a whole lot of stuff, but uh, adding new actions is basically just writing one new TS file here. So these are the two things that it can do right now, along with some other silly stuff like small talk. So what it can do right now is it can tell you the time in your location as well as other places around the world. That is this action here. And the second action is it can set an alarm. And the wordings for both of these, the uh, requests that the user gives, can be pretty flexible. I'll show you a demo to explain that further, but the other thing that the application can do is also handle small talk, which is basically things like what's up, how are you, I'm feeling angry. It does respond to things like that. Okay, so I guess I'll show you the small talk feature first. I'm going to ask it a couple of questions. I'm not going to ask it all the questions that it is able to answer, but I think you should be able to get a brief idea of what it can handle. Okay, let me just start the device here. The server is already started. So the device has been started, and it's waiting for me to say the wake word. Once I say the wake word, it's going to connect to the server and send all the requests there. Jarvis,
At your service, sir.
what's up?
Just waiting for you to give me some work, sir.
Who are you?
I'm Jarvis.
How old are you?
I was created in December 2018.
Can you get any smarter?
I'm only as smart as your code, sir.
You are wrong.
Oops, sorry.
I'm angry.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Who is your boss?
My boss is you.
Who is your boss?
Mr. Rao.
Yeah, that was the small talk commands. There are a lot of others, but I think this is enough for now. As you saw, it showed a little bit of courtesy. I said thank you, it said welcome, it said sorry, and a couple of other responses like that. And there is also a deck of responses that it shuffles through. I asked it, who is your boss, twice, and it gave me different responses. Yeah, that's about it for the small talk commands. I think next I'll just go through the actions. There are two actions that I've created here, and I could add more by just creating new files under this directory. The first one is I can ask it the time, and it's going to give me the time. I can also ask it the time in different locations around the world, cities, countries, states, and it's going to give me that as well. The second action is to set an alarm. This is pretty flexible in terms of the wordings. So I can just tell it to set an alarm, and it's going to set it. I'll just walk you through the different commands that I can give it. Let's start with the time action. Let me just start the device here. Jarvis,
At your service, sir.
what is the time?
3:46 a.m.
And as you can see, the time here is actually 3:46 a.m. What's the time in San Francisco?
4:46 a.m.
What's the time in Paris?
1:46 p.m.
What is the time in India?
5:16 p.m.
So as you can see, it gives me the time in different locations around the world. Um, it's a pretty basic functionality, but it's actually surprising how much effort went into doing it. Anyway, the last feature I want to show is setting an alarm. So I can tell it to set an alarm in a whole lot of different ways. I'm just going to show you a couple of those commands right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to set an alarm in 1 minute, and we'll see that alarm go off. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell it to set alarms at 1 p.m. and just say 1 o'clock, and it's going to figure out if it's going to be a.m. or p.m. based on whichever is the next 1 o'clock. Um, and I also want to show you that if I say set an alarm, it's going to ask a follow-up question asking what time do I want to set the alarm for. Let me just start the application. Set an alarm. Oops. Jarvis,
At your service, sir.
set an alarm.
What time?
1:30 p.m.
Done. Alarm set for 1:30 p.m.
Set an alarm in 1 minute.
Done. Alarm set for 3:49 a.m.
Set an alarm at 8.
Done. Alarm set for 8 a.m.
Set an alarm
What time?
in 2 minutes.
Done. Alarm set for 3:50 a.m.
Set an alarm in 7 hours.
Done. Alarm set for 7 a.m.
So that was the alarm that just went off, the one that we set for 1 minute. So yeah, that's about all the actions that I wanted to show you. Um, Adding new actions is pretty simple. I just have to add a new TS file here. These files are about 100 lines of code. They just specify the action as an array of functions. Um there are some client-side actions as well. For example, setting an alarm is something that happens on the client side. The server sends the client all the details, and the client um, performs the action under the client action directory. It sets an alarm and plays the audio once the alarm needs to go off. So I'll continue to add more actions to the application, and once I have something substantial, I'll probably make another video. Thanks for watching. Thank you.